This is such a weird rate of clapping, but I have to give props to AEW. They just pulled off one of the best wrestling shows of the year, of all time even. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Troy Yeager. Welcome back to it. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be discussing All In. We're going to be discussing one match in particular, and that is obviously the main event of All In. It was Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, the shittiest World Champion in history. But without that title reign, I don't think AEW would be thriving right now. I'll explain why. Against Hangman Page, the savior, the destined savior of AEW. Now, this match had a lot riding into it, mainly for Tony Khan, because Tony Khan knew good and well if they went with the same damn finish every single time of having Jon Moxley retain this title against Hangman Page, believe you me, that would have been the significant death of AEW. Hangman Page. What else can I say? This man has had 2 years of hardship, 2 years of hell. He called it his 2 years of hell, man. And he finally saw the light in the tunnel. We're going to talk more about it. This 2-year arc of his has been one of the most compelling story I've ever seen in a wrestler. I mean, all his downward descent to madness, all starting with when he lost the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk. The feud with Swerve Strickland. Everything has just been, it was written in stone, bro. Hangman Page needed to prove his worth again, because even before the whole thing of him descending to madness, him as a world champion, it didn't quite fit them all. He didn't feel like the guy, because the guy at the time was CM Punk. AEW was highly profitable in CM Punk. Hangman Page was just a world champion, There was just no layer of substance to him being the guy when CM Punk was the guy. So he lost the world title to CM Punk. Then he went on to become in tag teams and whatnot, have matches. Then Swerve Strickland came along and told him that you are wasting your spot in this place. Let me take your spot. Then they had their first match at Wrestle Dream. That was also a banger match. Then Swerve won the match at the end of it, but then the story didn't end there. It got personal. Hangman Page got involved in Swerve's title contention for the TNT title. Then after that, Swerve Strickland invaded that the dark point of the story. Swerve Strickland broke into Hangman's home and was seemingly violated, but not did he violate? You know what I'm saying? No, but violated Hangman's son. Then this turned into a dark corner. Hangman Page went into a downward spiral. Then they had their now famous, I don't know if I should say famous or infamous, because this shit was insane. One of the greatest Texas death matches of all time. These two went out there and verbally tried to kill each other. But at the end of it, man, Swerve Strickland came out of it as the winner. Then went on he seemingly took Hangman's spot and then went on to become AEW World Champion. That right there was the turning point in Hangman's heel turn. Hangman's entire heel turn it's been compelling. He told stories. He told us that the reason why he's like this is because y'all kept on cheering for Hangman, knowing good enough this man broke into my home and seemingly just tortured my son. Now he can't sleep at night. That's also another factor that we need to talk about. Then he went on to have matches against Christopher Daniels. That Christopher Daniels feud was the turning point in his entire life. He was questioning who he was as a man. Then he went on to redeem himself in the Owen Hart Foundation's tournament. Then he went on to go up against Will Ospreay, who again, Will Ospreay became the story itself, the panning it out with WrestleMania 40 with Cody Rhodes and Seth. Will Ospreay was the Seth to his Cody. So Will Ospreay told Hangman Page that one of us has a responsibility to end Jon Moxley's title reign and seemingly help out. Bring AEW into a new era in their company. So then they had the match, and I must say it is one of the best matches of all time. They had the match at Double or Nothing. It was the main event, rightfully so, because if you want the guy to challenge the world champion to be as big as it is, you have to make it main event. So then the match happened, and at the end of it, Hangman Adam Page came out on top as the winner. Now he has the full responsibility to challenge, to take off the title off of Jon Moxley. Then the build to All In was absolutely great. Will Ospreay became the cat. He basically became a shield, protecting him against the Death Riders. Then the story with him and Swerve was also in the storyline with him and John. Before All In, Hangman actually came to Swerve's locker room, and they had a conversation, and they started talking about the things that they did to each other, all the shitty things that they did to each other. Hangman Adam Page also being the one that burned down Swerve's house. Then Swerve also told Hangman that I was planning on raising my grandchildren in that house. Then you burned it down. But then I realized, I think he even said it beforehand, even before this whole All-In thing happened, that he actually deserved to have his house burned down. He deserved it. Then he told Hangman that, hey, I think it's time for us to let go of the past. Then Hangman agreed. Then he left. But then he left behind a chain. And the significance of that chain is that was the same chain that Swerve used on Hangman in their Texas Death Match to hang around his neck and to secure the win. Hang the hangman. I don't know if that's pun, but you get the gist. So then we reach to All In. The atmosphere was absolutely great, man. The crowd was just, they were behind Hangman all the way, man. His entrance was absolutely incredible. Even the moment where the cameraman panned to the heel tunnel, and I love the dynamic of the heel tunnel and the babyface tunnel. It's really good stuff. That's one of the great features of AEW. It panned to the heel tunnel, then they swerved, no pun intended. They swerved and it showed Hangman coming out of the tunnel. The atmosphere itself, man. I love this gear, by the way, man. His gear with the white and the southern stuff, man. It was really cool. And the pyro and everything, man. It was tops, man. Then Jon Moxley comes out, man. Final boss energy coming on the big truck. Then they got into the ring, introductions. Then boom, we get to the match. This match entirely was absolutely batshit crazy. From forks being used to fork even stabbing Hangman, even stabbing John on the head with the it was bloody, bro, as expected, because this is not the first time they had a Texas Death Match. This is actually the second Texas Death Match against each other, with Hangman winning the last one. So then lots of things happened. It was basically WrestleMania 40 with the Death Riders coming out. It was predicted. Ospreay coming out as well. But he got neutralized eventually. He got stretched out of there. Then we had returns from Darby Allin. Darby Allin being the catalyst of this entire thing from happening, because he's the one that challenged up, that gave up his spot to Jon Moxley, that he lost the spot to Jon Moxley, which hence Jon Moxley defeating Bryan Danielson for the world title and started this whole thing. Bryan Danielson came back as well. Him and Darby Allin came back. It was just absolutely insane. Then we get to the moment where Swerve Strickland also interfered. The Young Bucks themselves got to interfere in the match because they recently lost the EVP titles to Will and Swerve in the tag match. Also one of the best tag matches of all time. Then we get to this. Swerve hands over Hangman the chain, the exact same chain, and he took it from there. Hangman Adam Page used the opportunity, wrapped Jon Moxley around. Before the wrapping, that sounded weird. But before the whole hanging thing, Hangman Adam Page buckshot lariat Jon Moxley onto a bed of nails. I have to give respect to John, because the shit he be doing, man. He doesn't even need to be doing this, man. But respect to him, bro. Buckshot lariat Jon Moxley onto the bed of nails. Took him out, hung him with the chain, and you would see the most precision, the most exquisite selling I done ever seen. Jon Moxley was like a wounded animal, knowing good and well that his Death Riders are not there to help him out. Maria Shafir was handcuffed earlier on when she wanted to go get the briefcase by Prince Nana. Jon Moxley was just panicking all 4 floors. The selling itself was absolutely incredible, man. That selling, it was golden. He was panicking. He was squirming. Then he ended up tapping out. And ladies and gentlemen, Hangman Adam Page wins the World Heavyweight the AEW World Championship. When the reveal of the belt was intent, like when he revealed the title, that pop was absolutely insane. And Hangman Adam Page ended the night as the world champion. Now, Jon Moxley. I know people are going to say that Jon Moxley had the worst title reign of all time. I could agree with you, man. This is no comparison to CM Punk's 2 world titles because that was just poorly based on just injuries. Chris Jericho, all those champions, even Kenny Omega, may AEW go. This world title reign has been the worst, but I feel like it had served its purpose because people were not tuning into AEW even before the Death Rider storyline because of the inconsistent booking that Tony Khan has been doing. So Jon Moxley hiding the world title and just be having these shitty-ass matches. I could say this is kind of an equivalent to How to Ruin Wrestling by John Cena. I could even say this was a far better How to Ruin Wrestling title reign than John Cena. And that is crazy to say, but it served its purpose. Jon Moxley was the world champion, but yet he was just not as, we just didn't expect this title reign from Jon Moxley instead, man. We got a different Jon Moxley, and he was definitely very much necessary because the amount of people that bought in for the show was just, it was the biggest one. It was the biggest non-WWE show in the U.S., and that is just absolutely impressive. That goes to show you the longevity of this entire story, man, because Hangman Adam Page was the favor to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Darby Allin as well, but he went on to climb a mountain and then just that the heat died down, all right? It wasn't going to hit the same. So they needed to pull the trigger now, and they needed to pull the trigger fast. So then, what is next for Hangman Adam Page after here, man? Hopefully he gets a lengthy world title reign because, wow, that title win was just magnificent. Magnifique. You know what I'm saying, though? But without further ado, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in today's episode. I have literally 12 and 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left, actually. But, yeah, man. AEW. I think they're back.